Hello everyone, this is Grade 3, Module 7, Lesson 31 homework. For 1 it says, use the rectangle below to answer problems 1A through D. For A it says, what is the area of the rectangle in square units? Well, I can go through and I know area is the measurement of the inside in square units. So I could just count all the squares in there. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I could just put 18 down there because I just counted, or I could say this is 1, 2, 3 units, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And then I could do my formula for it as well, which is length times width. I got to multiply the two sides. And I know that it's 6 units times 3 units, so my area is 18 square units. So either way is going to work for this because they gave us our squares drawn in there. It wasn't just a rectangle. It has all the rectangle broken up. So I'll put my answer statement in. And now that that's in, I can move down to B. What is the area of half of the rectangle? Well, if I counted all of the squares when I got 18, I know half of it can be found by dividing by 2. So that's going to get me 9 square units because this 18 is in square unit form because it's the area of the whole thing. I want just half, so I would divide it by 2. Or I can clearly see that if I cut this in half, and here's my line right here, I see I have 2 equal sides. I can then count this, and for half of it, I'll get 9 square units. But I want to make sure that I don't write on the inside of this, really, because I'm going to need it for the next part. I already looked ahead. But that's 2 ways to find area of the half of the rectangle. And now that my answer statement's in there, I can slide down. And for C, it says, shade in half of the rectangle above. Be creative with your shading. Well, you could just shade the half that we showed, the left or the right side, or you can kind of get creative, meaning you got to shade 9 of these units. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to shade 9 of these. And it doesn't matter what 9 I do. And you're seeing that I'm trying to do every other one. But as long as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shaded, I've shaded half. So for my explanation, I shaded every other one and made sure that I had 9 square units shaded. And there's my answer statement. I shaded every other square and made sure I had 9 square units shaded because that is half of the area of the whole rectangle. Let's take a look over at the next page. And here we are on page 2. And it says, during math class, Arthur, Emily, and Gia drew a shape and then shaded one half of it. Analyze each student's work, determine if the student was correct or not, and explain your thinking. So let's look at Arthur first. And I see that he has a double-sided arrow there. And he shaded the bottom part black, and the top part he left, but he left an opening here. And I can see that. That's not shaded, but then he shaded it up here. So if I take this part in black up top that he shaded and set it on top of this one, it's going to be shaded. Let me fill that in. So if I move that diamond that he did, it's no longer going to be up top. So I want to show what that looks like. Now it's gone because I moved it down below. So, is the student correct? I would say yes. And I would do the explanation that I just kind of stated there, because he shaded a diamond on top but left the same size diamond unshaded down below. And there's my answer statement right there. Now I'm going to do a similar thing for the next one. Emily looks like she just shaded a rectangle here, but she's missing this part. So I'm looking on the rest of hers to see if she shaded anything similar to that I can move up, and she didn't. So it looks like she is not correct. So no, because she didn't shade half of it. She shaded just less than half on the one side. So there's my explanation there. And I'm not going into much detail just because there's not a lot of room to write in there. So for Gia, I'm going to use the same principles that I did up here for Arthur. She shaded the bottom part but left a triangle open and a circle open, but it looks like up above where she didn't shade in, it looks like she has the same size objects shaded. So what I can do is I can take those shaded sections from up above in black and I can move them down to the bottom. So that was the triangle and that was the circle. So what I pretty much did was I took the circle and put it right there, and this triangle and put it right there. So if I move those two, what pretty much just happened was I'm unshading these because I moved them down below. So they're gone up above. And I'm just moving it within, and I can see that half of it is shaded. So yes, Gia is correct because of the same, pretty much the same reason that Arthur was correct. And there's my explanation. Yes, she shaded a triangle and a circle on top, but left a triangle and circle of the same size unshaded on the bottom. So that's just my explanations for it, but you can kind of put in whatever one you feel fit. Now for 3, we're just shading the grid below to show different ways of shading half of each shape. So the big thing here is to count how many boxes to find the area. So I could count the number in here, or I could find the dimensions. It's going to be a little bit easier, I think, to count. We already did one up here. This one is from the question on the first page. So I would shade like this. That's half. And then on the first page, I shaded every other one like this. So that's 2 different ways that I could shade this. And knowing that there's 18 in there, because that's the question from the first page that we had. And I need to have 9 shaded. Down below, I got to count this. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I know 8 have to be shaded. Well, I could use a basic shading here, meaning I'll just shade half. So I'm going to shade half of this in. And that's 8 of them that I can still see. But for my other one, I know I need 8, so I can pick any 8 I want. So I'll do 2 here, 4, 6, 8. Half of it is shaded there because I have 8 of them shaded. So it's showing half is shaded. And for the last one, this one's a little tricky, simply because we have to figure out first how many are in there. And I know I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full boxes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 half shaded. So I need 3 of the full ones and 2 of the halves. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show, if I have 4 halves, I'm going to shade 2 of them And then I had 6 full, so I'll just shade 3, because that's half of 6. And then for the top one, since these are half boxes, really I could say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is my area. So I really only need to shade in 4. So I could pick any 4. So I'm going to shade in this 4 right there because I have 4 shaded, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 unshaded. That one's a little interesting because it's getting us looking at area of a triangle. But 2 different ways to do it, and you can do it any other way you want. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your homework.